This is all thanks to you.
Hello everyone. This video, I just want to say a little bit of thank you to everyone for just supporting this channel so much. So I wanted to do my challenge run as a thank you for 19 subscribers. We've been growing pretty fast here. It's crazy. People must enjoy these videos and they must enjoy what they see here. So I'm recording not while I'm playing because my brain could not handle the stress of playing and talking for this run. This is my challenge run that I have kind of made up for myself. I got a question. What's next for Code Vein? Well, if you feel so up for it, this is a great challenge run here. So you start out kind of slow. We'll kind of go through the rules here. So rule number 1, no revenant can disperse. No revenant, you or your partner, can disperse. You're only allowed one partner, whether that's you and an AI or you and a friend. You can't have 3 revenants in here, but if one revenant disperses, it's game over. You got to go back to the beginning missile. Second is whatever build and items you choose, you can't switch anything late in the run. You can't change anything. You can't make any changes to your build or the items or anything. Rule number 3, I believe, you cannot use any kind of healing items. Now, gifts are okay. Passive gifts, active gifts, any way that you want to get extra health, that's fine. But you just can't use any regeneration items. And so Mia died there, and we got her back. So rule number 4, you got to do both invasions in one go. You can't rest at any missiles. Okay, I guess that's rule number 5. You can't rest at any missiles along the way. So it has to be done in one run with no healing. And no healing items, no regeneration, no regen inducers, and no purebloods. Anything you do from, and that goes for the partner too. If you're running with a friend, they can't use any regeneration either. If you run with an AI, they can use regeneration, but that's only just because that's the AI. So yeah, this is an extremely nerve-wracking run, as you have to run both invasions before you can run to the end and do your relaxation at the missile in the crypt or in the successor's resting place. So here is invasion number 1. You'll notice I picked White Mia. We'll kind of run over the build here a little bit. And I outlined the route here with many dots as I ran this many times, so we would have a clear idea of where the dots should go and where the path should run. Also, if you want the ultimate challenge, you definitely want to go for not any normal game. You want to do at least new game 7 star or beyond. Anything below that and it'll kind of fall apart and kind of be super easy. So if you're interested in an extreme challenge, I don't think there's anything harder in the game than this run right here. You might disagree, you might have another challenge run that would be awesome to run, but these are some of the hardest invasions in the game, and you need extreme, like, just focus to get through it. Here I was kind of getting kind of nervous as I went down a few times, or once there, but Mia picked me back up with Guardian Aid, so I was able to get some extra defense there. But I ran Queen's Breath because it has exceptional sustain, great gift abilities, and it has great synergy with running higher health runs. As well as anytime you do a regenerative drain with the Hound's Veil, you get more than 10% back in health usually, so you have really great sustain that way. So I was feeling kind of good here. I was kind of tilted though, because I had already been through here so many times and died so many times. This is just such an extreme challenge. And if anybody's interested in running Code Vein this way, so you get to the Cathedral, you don't do the Berserker. This is after you've finished the entire Cathedral. If you're looking for, you know, kind of an extreme run, can you do it kind of a challenge just for, you know, just for kind of pride marks. As you know, Bandai's not putting any kind of challenge run in the game, so I'm gonna be making different challenge runs along the way. If you have any kind of input that you'd like to share, then we can make up some cool challenges together. So to answer that question as to what's next for Code Vein, I think it's kind of up to the community, or if Code Vein, or if Bandai is watching our videos, watching the community's videos, maybe they're listening, and maybe they'll put something like these runs in here. I mean, wouldn't it be amazing to get some kind, you know, a gold weapon of each weapon that has, you know, really cool stats or something, really different stats. Maybe two-handed single swords, two single-handed, two one-handed swords or something like that. So who knows? Maybe if we put enough effort into it and show enough interest, Bandai will listen and do something, or if not, at least we'll have a lot of fun doing it. So here, I'm feeling pretty good. I always run up to this guy and do a drain on him, knock him off, so it's 5% on strike for the Hound's Head at minimum, and then 5% when he goes off the edge. So that way, that's kind of just a place where I can refill some health if I've lost too much. Here I wanted to go for a parry to show off some skill, but you know, like I said, I had been through here so much already, I was just wanting to take the safer route. Excuse me. So yeah, my heart got up to, you know, 500 beats per minute or something on the second invasion, but yeah, if you're watching this, since you're watching this, you know kind of the outcome that was resolved there. But we'll talk more about that when we get there. So here, the idea of this entire run with this build that I've got is to be very liberal with the I-core usage and go for as many backstabs as possible, because since we don't have any real items to help us out, I mean, we have a little bit of items here and there at certain junctures just to make sure that we, you know, can get different things back. So you'll see me healing Mia at weird times like that, because remember rule number 1, no revenants can die, or disperse. No revenants can disperse, so we don't want her to disperse. So we'll wait for that second launch here to get another 5% of health back, and then do a Hound's attack to get another 5% of health back, and heal up Mia because she's priority number 1. So right now, you know, the idea is go for as many backstabs as possible, that's what I was saying, and try and go for as many regular attacks into a quick drain to recover as much health as possible while you're in the damaging phase. I'd love to see if there's another code that would be able to make this run. This is fairly, you know, since you can't change weapons, or you can't change veils, or you can't change codes, or you can't change gifts through the entire challenge run. You know, this is what I put together just because of the fact that you have extreme sustain with Juggernaut, Iron Will, and the defense buff from the Damarung, as well as coupled with Cleansing Light, and then in the event that I actually go down to 0 HP and Mia revives me, I get Guardian Aid, which increases my defenses significantly to the point that I can be invincible. Now the reason I chose this challenge run is because almost all the enemies in here have inhibit, so that also makes it extremely difficult, because if you get invincibility with Guardian Aid and Juggernaut and all the defensive buffs, the idea is that they can take that away from you, so you can't just sit there and take it to the face all the time. At certain areas you can, but not all the time, because those purple slender ladies, what's Slender Man and then there's Slender Lady? I don't know. Is there a female version of that? That'd be cool. Then they can take that away from you, and as well, our favorite fun friends, the monkeys, are in this as well, and they can take it away too, as they are extremely annoying. So you're never out of the woods yet, until you get to the very end, where you get to the successor's crypt. Um, so this is extremely nerve-wracking. So it doesn't matter what enemy you come across. This is always, very, very, very tense. You never want to take any enemy lightly, and you want to do maximum damage and maximum health regen at any place possible. And like I said, you want to be very liberal with your gifts, because the amount of backstabs we're getting, coupled with how many weapon strikes and staggers and knockdowns and charge drains we're getting, you're always going to be up to a pretty high amount. Hopefully over 31, because in order to run excuse me, our entire build, we need 10 for Cleansing Light, we need 6 for Juggernaut, we need 5 for Iron Will, we need 5 for Resilient Heart. I think it's Resilient Heart, or Valiant Heart, and we need 5 for the Dameron buff. So that's 31 total. So as long as we're over 31, we're doing well. Preferably we'd like to have 34, or 35, excuse me, because we have Restorative Offering and I forget the other one, something boon, Sympathetic Boon from Eos Blood Code, to make sure that we have enough I-Core left over to heal Mia, because remember again, rule number 1, we have no revenants can disperse. So as soon as Mia dies, or I die, and either one of us disperses, the challenge run is over, and you have to start back at the beginning missile. So we want to keep that up, and we want to keep that going. And since we can't rest at any missiles along the way, all the active items that we have in our inventory that we brought along, those have to last us through both invasions and all the enemies along the way here. So here, I try to go for a launch over the wall, because that's the most ideal way in the Cathedral here to go for, and see Mia got hit, is to go for a backstab with the Hound's Veil when you're facing a wall, because it'll pick up whatever enemy you have, and it'll put them right over the edge, and you won't have to fight them. So no matter how much health they have, they just over the edge they go, and they're dead. So it's the fastest way to dispatch most of the enemies in here, but unfortunately we didn't get that with her. I wanted to show that, but this run is so long and difficult that I couldn't get to show that, but that's the ideal there, is to get her to go over the edge. Now here I'm still feeling pretty good. We're at full health, we're almost full I-Core, and so I'm feeling pretty okay. My hands are starting to sweat a little, because we got through the first invasion, and you never know if you're actually done until you get all the way to the crypt. So you never can rest on your laurels as you go through here, because, like I said, any and every enemy will just challenge you to no end. Here I took a water break and I just stopped. But yeah, sorry I couldn't do this live. I had to do it post doing the run, because like I said, I was just so intense. If you actually try this run at star 7 or higher, with some kind of challenge like this under these 5 rules, then it's going to be really, really difficult. And if you're looking for a good challenge and something to put up and kind of impress people, I think this would be a great run for people to either commentate on or analyze or talk about or watch, and see how many different blood codes and different gifts and such that we can get to actually make this run with under these set of rules. Now the path I'm running is the main storyline pathing, just to kind of show as well some of the switches, some of the levers, some of the pathing that you would take in a regular Cathedral run, just to have as a reference. So if people don't know how to run the Cathedral, this can be a great reference just to see, how would I get there for the majority of everything. I didn't do the keys at the end because that's not part of the run. It's not part of the challenge. It's because you just run into a couple of enemies, and these one-offs, as you see, we do pretty well in the one-on-ones. But the problem is stringing the one-on-ones in between the invasions. That makes it extremely difficult. So let's drink some water. Hope everybody's drinking water. There we go. So this is an extremely difficult run. I don't know how many times I can say it, but yeah, my heart was pounding, my palms were sweating, I was sweating. Probably need a shower, just from the intensity of this. So the most important buff that comes for this build with this build is cleansing light. If you do not have cleansing light, you're going to be extremely hard up for health and healing your partner. And you can probably run this better solo, but I like making it actually harder, where you have to keep the other revenant alive, because that makes it that much more difficult, because now you have to worry about health management at the same time of regular gift management. For some reason, this guy didn't want to jump down right away, so maybe we got here too fast, I don't know. But we dispatch him really quick. So cleansing light is our bread and butter. We wave at that guy, as he's not part of the path. Now this guy here on the left, he's another 5% or 10% health, kind of a free gift there. So if you're needing health at this point, you can pick up some from him. So not a big deal. But cleansing light is exactly the gift that we're going to be relying on the most, and it has a fairly quick cooldown, so we don't have to worry too much about that. And I went with 2 healing gifts because of the fact that this guy gives us a little trouble here. We can go down with a plunge attack. We have two healing gifts because in the event that Mia gets backed into a corner, and she goes down once, and then I revive her, and then the large ladies, we just throw him off the edge. There's another example of that. The large ladies can do a double swing, and they kill her as soon as she gets up. So that's why we have 2, because as soon as she goes down once, we can give her restorative offering, and then if she goes down a second time immediately, because that happens quite a bit, you can hit her with sympathetic boon and bring her back up to pretty high health. Now here, at this point, ideally you want to be at full 60 I-core. I was not. However, the fact of the matter is we are above 31, above 35, so we're good to go. And Chariot Rush is our kind of situationally use case active gift for our halberd, since it has great knockdown and it has great stagger potential. However, all of that only comes out of the 3rd hit, which you can only get that hit off if the enemy doesn't interrupt you before that 3rd hit happens. So that's why Juggernaut is extremely important to give you, I believe it's a 50% stagger resistance, as well as Valiant Heart to give you another 33% stagger resistance, I believe. I don't have exact numbers on those. I think that's on the Vextra Life wiki that those values come from. I'm not exactly sure if those are, how you come up with that, unless they tore apart the code, which I'm pretty sure they did. He's got a pretty good community over there for Code Vein. So here we look at that steeple. There's a lot of beauty here. It's just a great thing. When you notice some of the landscape here, you wonder how many people Aurora had to kill to make this hole in the ground, and then build a right in the middle of a city, and then build a cathedral right on top of it. So, yeah, I mean, her consequences, saved a lot of people probably, but you never know. The good outweighs the needs of the many, or the one. Star Trek. So here, we're still not out of the woods. I mean, I'm feeling okay. I'm kind of calming down, but I'm still not feeling good because the monkeys are coming up here, as well as 3 of these golden warriors back to back here, and then 2 more afterwards. So five golden warriors and 2 monkeys back to back here with no break, pretty much. So this is not ideal. And there, as she hit me, as I was running Chariot Rush, she couldn't do enough stagger potential because I had Valiant Heart running, and so that allowed me to charge through her attacks without taking or losing that 3rd strike, which then knocked her down. So here we get rid of inhibit on Mia, so she can do her gifts and her shots and her heals and everything, just in case I go down. It's very important to have that active, as well as all of the passives, or the items that we brought along. Here I'm going for a little bit of charge ability, charge attack, because that helps our Damarung defensive gift get off faster, and it also helps our charge drains get off a lot faster too. So that way we can, hopefully get more health back along the way. This part is extremely dangerous, not for the player as much as it is for Mia, or for the second Revenant, because they will just get completely destroyed in the 4-hit combo that the Golden Warriors do. And so if you're not paying attention, or you're in a backstab animation, I can't tell you how many times I'm in a backstab animation and Mia dies and the run is over. Doesn't matter where, doesn't matter what's going on. It's just really, really, really frustrating. So it's important to make sure that Mia's okay, not in any danger when you're doing a backstab. Unfortunately, you can't always pick and choose. That's part of the RNG here. So now my heart's starting to race, because we're coming up to these two Golden Warriors, and they can be sort of problematic if they join in on each other. If you stay far enough to the left, away from the hallway, the other lady won't join. Here I go for some more blocking potential. And you see we only lose 1 HP on block once we use the guard booster. But here I'm starting to race because I'm a little bit around half health, and so I'm going to try and run up my health here a little bit with some knockdowns, so that way I can get as much health back before we go into this invasion. And like I said, this invasion is the one that you will most likely lose on right here. So the strategy I came up with for this invasion to continue running, and again we go for knockdowns and health regens here, or acquiring health back. Now the strategy I go for is on the stairs. You go back up the ladder and then go in the curly Q staircase, in order to make them come to you from a very, very long distance. They don't spawn directly on top of you. So that was the only way that... I mean, you could probably do it another way. I don't care. That's fine. However, this was my method, and this is how I did it. The whole point is to complete the challenge run, running the same pathing that I ran, with the same rules that I'm running here. So as they come up the stairs, we can hopefully knock them down. I don't know what happened here with all these particle effects, but it's kind of cool. But it's like they got into a glitch state when they came up the stairs. I don't know why. That's the only time I've ever seen that happen. But it's kind of cool. Makes it look like everything's on fire. And again, those ladies, I don't know what they're doing. I try to check them out, see what's going on, so I get my bearings before I go in here. So they kind of got stuck. I don't know why. It didn't really change the outcome of the run. It could have, I'm sure, but I kind of knocked everybody around there just to make sure. Now see, Mia's taking damage, so I'm paying attention to that, paying attention to where the next person's coming from. And here in this stairwell, you're not in danger of getting knocked off and dying, so that's nice. And since you're fairly close proximity, every time you do a knockdown, your Hound's Veil will keep people very close to you. But you'll notice that they're coming from down the hallway, so they come from very, very far away. So it gives you time to get gifts in, it gives you time to reset, kind of evaluate, and discover what's going on. And they kind of funnel in one by one, instead of like 3 at a time spawning right on top of you down in the invasion area. So this is why and Mia got hit quite a bit, so I go for some health back on her, to make sure that she doesn't go down, because she goes down here more so than any other place. And try and get a knockdown on this lady, which is great, because then I can run in and I can get some of my health back, and then go for another drain, just for the fact that I need as much health as possible to keep me alive. And every time we kill a unit or an enemy, we get another 5% of our health back. And so we're getting about 185 health on a backstab or on a kill. And if we're lucky, we get the full 371. You gotta keep Mia alive, man. That is rule number one here. So you need Cleansing Light going in order to not take any damage beyond what you can afford to give back to Mia. So there we get the Damarung buff up, and then get a launch just for Mia to heal up if she needs. The whole point of this is just to buy yourself time. As you notice, we're not doing any damage because we're hitting 2 enemies at once, but it's more about buying time and getting your bearings in order to you know, do something extra. Do another attack or another gift or another buff or another item usage. And we got flattened there. We were laying down on the job, sorry Mia. See, now I'm in a backstab state, can't do anything. Unfortunately, this other slender lady decided to come after me instead of going and killing Mia. So that could have been the end of the run right there. So we got lucky, we got really lucky that this slender lady came after us. And then anytime you see the Golden Warrior, I'm a much better Golden Warrior than she is, but you know, subjective opinions. But as soon as you see her, you know that the run is about coming to a close. So right here, I was getting nervous just because of the excitement factor. Oh, and then when I saw that, that it can no longer be felt. Oh my goodness.
Not at all. I've never felt so happy.
And Mia says that wasn't so bad. Oh man.
My hero.
So this challenge run, extremely difficult, but it's not over yet because I got so excited and my brain kind of stopped and I actually ran off the edge and I died. So I had to scrap the run, go back to the beginning and do it again. So this is the redo of the challenge run, unfortunately. But yeah. So here it's just a bunch of one-on-ones for here on out. So more Golden Warriors, and again, once we're in a one-on-one state, we're pretty good. So we finally made it through. Extremely difficult, and again, like I said, this is 23 stars. So I don't believe that the health and I don't believe that the health of the enemies continues to scale, but their damage certainly is just unbelievably high. So you can lose it at any point here, and you see me going kind of slow here because I didn't want to run off any edges again, or I had to kind of think, where am I at, what am I doing? And so we're home free after that last golden lady. Oh, so just a huge thank you to everybody for coming along on this channel and just showing your support and commenting and watching the videos. A little wave there to the camera, noting that we have finally made our peace with this place and we actually got the run completed. So hello Sophie. So if anyone feels like they're up for a challenge, I encourage you to try this run out. It's extremely difficult, it's extremely infuriating, and as you notice from the dots on the map, we only made it here once. And this is the once that you're watching, and we actually did make it. So yeah, I just can't say thank you enough to everybody. It's crazy. I didn't really know if anybody would be interested in what I had to say about Code Vein, or how I play, or the insight that I could give, or hopefully you could learn something from it. But
Victory is that was a bit rough. Rest well. Looks like we won.
I'm just looking for a comment here.
Looks like we won.
So that we can have a little bit of ending here. So thanks all for watching, and thank you everyone for subscribing, and here in the Cathedral, and we'll catch you next time.